rolling. Wednesday, hottest show on the streets, hump day, talking Bama. In my own words, yours truly, Stephen M. Smith of Touchdown Alabama Magazine. Happy that you guys are joining us. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button on the YouTube channel. Make this your show, your network platform, channel, and space to talk the Crimson Tide. We're bringing you the show from the Magic City of Birmingham. Streaming this to you on YouTube. We got a lot to dive into, a lot to discuss, a lot to break down. We got two outstanding guests coming on, one being former Alabama running back Bo Scarborough. We'll be on a little bit later on, and then we'll have Miss Cierra Clark covering the Arkansas Razorbacks, taking you behind enemy lines right there. And we want to hear from you, the outstanding fans of Bama football. You can do this by calling 205-448-1358. And I'm going to call in to let your voice be heard on the show, 205-448-1358. And one more time, 205-448-1358. Daily Super Chat Go, $75. Daily Super Chat Go, and appreciate all of you for helping us out here on the network. But we're going to quickly Getting now the first topic of conversation, and that goes to the keys to victory for Alabama in taking on Arkansas in Fayetteville this weekend. Donald W. Reynolds Razorback Stadium, that hostile, wild, crazy, insane environment, if you will. Alabama trying to take the performance it had against Vanderbilt on this past weekend, try to take that performance on the road, shut down the Arkansas crowd, shut down the Arkansas offense, make plays on the Arkansas defense, and really establish an identity for itself. And for Coach Saban, he goes up here to Hog Nation to face Sam Pittman, and a coach of whom has really changed the culture in Fayetteville. Arkansas for a while had always been a decent team, a good team, but now it's grown into a competitive group that you have to watch for. Now it's grown into a group that, can not only wear you down, but if you don't keep your eye on them, they can slip up and beat you. And this is a team that should have had the matchup last week against Texas A&M. Some balls did not bounce the way of the Hogs, but this is a program that's going to be entering this matchup hair on fire, ticked off because it lost, hungry for a win, and motivated because it feels like we can run with Alabama, we can hang with Alabama, maybe we can even beat Alabama. So this is an Arkansas team coming in here with a ton of confidence. Coach Saban, a lot of respect for what Coach Pittman is doing in Fayetteville, and he wants to see his group take this hateful competitor mindset on the road against the Arkansas Razorbacks. But we get into now 3 keys to victory, in my opinion. Number 1, got to eliminate the crowd. Bama's got to take the Arkansas crowd completely out of this game, right? Because it's been a long time since Arkansas beat Alabama. Long time. Arkansas came close in 2010. Final score there was Bama 24, Arkansas 20. Arkansas came close in 2014. The final score was 14-13 in favor of the Tide. Arkansas even came close in 2015. Remember, the score was like 7-3 or something like that for a long time throughout the game until Jacob Coker found Calvin Ridley for a big touchdown, and then the game just kind of opened up from there. But of course, you would go back to this past season with Bryce Young. Arkansas played a good game, hung right in there. The final score was 42-35. So Arkansas's giving Alabama some good football games, some close football games, and especially when it's been in Fayetteville, in Arkansas. Bama's got to take the crowd completely out of the game. We saw against Texas at Texas Memorial Stadium how that crowd influence affected the game. Alabama 15 penalties. A lot of those were false starts where they couldn't quite hear, they couldn't quite communicate the way they wanted to. Does that Texas experience help Alabama more so against Arkansas, handling the communication better, not allowing the crowd to be an overwhelming factor for the Crimson Tide? Got to take the crowd, shut the crowd completely out of the game there early and often. Number 2, normally time of possession is a meaningless stat, but I feel like against the Hogs, it will have value. And the reason why I say this is I firmly believe Sam Pittman and Kendall Browse, offensive coordinator, they're going to look at KJ Jefferson and say, young man, do you see 9 and that Bama offense on the other side? Yeah, we don't want them on the field long. Sit on this ball, run this clock, let's play to our style, let's control the ebb and flow and pace and style of the game. Arkansas is going to take some shots with Hazelwood at receiver, Trey Knox at receiver. They're going to take a few shots here and there, but I firmly think Sam Pittman and Kendall Browse are looking dead at KJ Jefferson going, hey, let's play to our style. Let's run this football with Raheem Sanders. Let's run this football with you also. Let's try to control the pace and the flow of the game and limit Alabama's offensive possessions on the field. So for the Crimson Tide, time of possession Going to be a big deal here for Alabama in this matchup. Yes, you want the offense with Bryce Young to score and have instant success, but you also want to be able to grind that ball with Jace McClellan, with Jahmyr Gibbs, with the litany of running backs that you have, and put Arkansas there on the heels, so to speak there. So time of possession will play a role. And then for me, third down. Dominate on third down in both parts. Defensively, get off the field on third down. Don't allow Arkansas to have extra life out there on the field, or it can work the clock. Get off the field on third down. Where the Alabama defense is concerned, they've done a strong job of that. Alabama, in terms of third down defense this season, I think they're second in the country, giving up a percentage of 18.6% conversion rate there, 11 for 59. So winning on third down defensively for Alabama. Offensively, keeping your offense on the field, wearing down Arkansas's defense. Bryce Young, this offense, Bill O'Brien, converting on those third downs, sustaining drives, and try to wear on that Razorback defense. So those will be my keys there. Take the crowd out of the game completely. Control the pace of the game. You're Alabama, because Arkansas is going to try to do that also. Control the time of possession there. And then number 3, being able to win there on third down. So big keys here. Also, this is going to be interesting. We're going to have a friendly reunion here, people, because you got Will Anderson of Alabama and you got Drew Sanders of Arkansas. These two came to Alabama in the 2020 class together, both 5 stars. Anderson from Georgia, Sanders from Texas. And it's going to be interesting. It's going to be fun to see which one of these two has the better game. Which one of these two has the better matchup? Which one of these two is put in better situations to affect the quarterback? Drew Sanders has been playing well at Arkansas. He's been doing a great job. Anderson, we know what he is for the Crimson Tide, especially as he's starting to turn this thing up some. So it's going to be fun to watch which one of these two in this friendly reunion will have the bigger game. But we're going to go to our first break right here on the show. Don't touch that dial, just getting started. When we return, we're going to actually sit down with 2-time national championship running back and USFL champion Bo Scarborough to get his thoughts and what he wants to have happen in this matchup right after this.
You're watching In My Own Words with Stephen M. Smith, brought to you by We Own the Fourth Quarter. Get your 4-finger bling necklace today by visiting weownthefourthquarter.com. Throw them foes up.
9 players have teamed up and released the Alabama Team Paper, which is a video yearbook they've put out for sale direct to fans. Now, for the first time, small dollar purchases from the fans can support the players as a group as well as a great cause, because $1 of every subscription payment is donated to the Boys and Girls Club of America. Be a 5-star fan base and support your team and a great cause with Team Paper. Check it out at teampaper.com/Alabama.
Remember the taste of Grandma's delicious sweets? Emily's Heirloom Pound Cakes brings back those precious memories with just one bite. Each cake made from scratch. They make the perfect dessert to share with family and friends for any occasion, and ordering is easy. Visit emily'sheirloompoundcakes.com. Click the online store and shop. Then pick up your fresh cake at the kitchen in downtown Homewood. Order yours online at emily'sheirloompoundcakes.com. Emily's Heirloom Pound Cakes, making memories from scratch.
All right, baby, we're back in here to the action from the break. Hottest show on the streets, talking Bama football on a Wednesday. In my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of TDA. Guys, shout out my man Bill. Big Bill from New York with that $5 donation. Dropping the love there in the bucket. Appreciate that from Bill once again. Daily Super Chat goes $75. Appreciate you guys helping us out here on the show. But right now, We go to the In My Own Words hotline where we pick up the first of two heavy-hitting guests. We bring on a good friend, brother to the show, two-time national championship running back, one of the best guys to run that rock in the Saban era, and also a USFL champion with the Birmingham Stallions. Bo, he don't play. Scarborough is in here. Bo, baby, what's happening with you, man?
What's up, Steven, man? That was the best intro you ever gave me since we've been doing shows. I love it.
Hey, you know, Bo, we got to get better and better doing this because you are a man worth recognition. So when you come on, we got to come correct when you come on here.
Oh, yeah. You know what I have to say be the inside side of what's really going on and what we really need to see happen.
Absolutely. So let's get into that right now, Bo, because you have been a advocate. You've been firm about ground and pound, establishing this run the football to open up the pass, got to be balanced. So in this game against Arkansas right here, physical game, this is where we start to see what is this Alabama team for real. What do you want to see from Bill O'Brien in trusting these guys to be able to grind this out, control the pace of the game, control the clock? Because Bama's got the backs. We all know this. But what do you want to see from the play calling in trusting these guys to go out there and do their thing?
From the play calling, I want to see more of managing the game and controlling the clock. And another thing I want to see when we first come out, first quarter, I want us to play physical football like we played back in the last 12 and 11 to 12 years that we've been playing hard-nosed football to where when we come out, hit a team in the mouth in the first quarter or the first drive, and like we discussed last night, about time the fourth quarter comes, these guys don't want to play with us. They don't want to tackle. They ready to go home. I want to see us beat up on the guys like we used to do. Run the ball down their throat. Get up, boy, to Marion Miller a chance. Let him get confident. Get him 3-4 carries back to back and see what he do. We need a thumper. We need someone that's going to run the ball downhill, physical, run through somebody's face every time they get the ball. That way we wearing their defensive down and we can open up the pass for your favorite players, Steven, and Kobe Prentice and all these other guys that we have on the outside that are lethal weapons. But we can't be lethal weapons if we cannot run the football. If you cannot run the football in college football, you cannot win a national championship. You have to be able to control the clock. You have to be able to slow the game down by running the football. If you run the football, if you can run the football on any defense, you can control the game however you want to control the game because our run game is successful and we have great athletes on the outside. They can go up and get the ball, and we have a former Heisman winner quarterback, and we think we just need to give our offensive line to get a head on the hat and push these guys back. And Arkansas have a great defense. They have a good front seven, and they have a chip on their shoulder. They're going to be playing off of emotion, and I just know for a fact that these guys are going to come to play football on Saturday. And Alabama have to come back and be that physical team and be that dominant team that we used to be a couple years ago. I want to see us bring our true identity this game. What is going to be our identity for the rest of the year? And this game going to tell it because Arkansas, they coming off a loss. They playing with a chip on their shoulder. They got all these emotions built up, and they playing their home in front of all their fans, and they want to win. And Alabama have to want to do the same thing. We have to go in there and piss on their lawn, and Will Anderson have to be that leader that he are in order for us to win this game and dominate.
So, Bo, staying right there, when you look at the leadership, because you and I talked about this also, this is the time of year where you now have to mentally lock in and physically lock in because now here come the body blows. Now here comes keeping that body in order because you're going to take them hits because you're now in the SEC play. And here's where it comes to keeping your mind in order, staying mentally locked in. What are you wanting to see from Bryce Young and Will Anderson keeping everybody locked in because now you're about to get those body blows and you got to stay mentally locked in. So what do you want to see from these leaders?
Okay, so these guys lead by example. They barely talk, and you can tell, you can tell from watching them, and I know these guys personally. These guys lead from example. Now is the time to open up your mouth and let these guys know what time it is. When I was at Alabama, I didn't speak much, but when I did, guys listened and they were locked into what I had to say. And I'm pretty sure the guys over there at Alabama looking up to Will and Bryce Young. Will and Bryce Young have to bring that anger, that dog out in these guys. They got to go up to these guys and slap some guys around and let them know. If they BSing on the field and you not producing and giving effort, then you going in the locker room. Back in the day, we sent guys in the locker room for not knowing their assignment and not being committed to the process of what we wanted. So those two guys now have to step up as being vocal to the team and let them know how serious they is about playing this game of football and how serious they is about winning a national championship for the University of Alabama, what we have done for continuous years. That's what they have to do. They have to be verbally leaders now because we know what they can do by example. Now we have to talk fire into these younger guys. We have to 4 and 5 stars. We have to make these guys listen and bring them back down to earth. And Will Anderson and Bryce Young is the two players that can do that on that team right now.
Absolutely. So getting back to wrapping this up with the identity here, Bo, I know first big test since Texas, Alabama facing Arkansas Saturday. Do you feel like if Alabama goes out there and handles Arkansas, would that be the game that we could say, okay, Bama's found the identity or its identity if it goes out here Saturday and handles Arkansas?
It will play a role in it because every guy on that team will now have the confidence and believing in each other to get their job done. Now they know what the motive of this team is. Now they know what we have to go out and be and get done. Now they know how to put fear into the other team's eyes. I think the Tennessee game is we're going to have our true identity back because Tennessee is an undefeated team. They're playing very well. They have a very strong duo quarterback, and they have a good defense. And these guys is not letting down. We've been beating Tennessee for the last 14 to 15 years. These guys have so much confidence because they 4-0 now, and who knows what their schedule, who knows what their record will be next week. But I'm pretty sure when Alabama steps into Tennessee Volunteer Stadium, Netherlands, it's gonna be so serious. Them boys gonna give Bama everything they got, and Alabama gonna have to give them boys everything they have. We cannot play down to the other team's potential. We have to play to the Alabama standard built by Alabama physicality, and that's what it is.
That is Bo Scarborough, folks, two-time national champion for your Crimson Tide, 2015, 2017. Also, USFL champion for those Birmingham Stallions. Telling it to you just like it is. Bo, as always, my brother, we appreciate you and all that you do and helping us out here. You stay safe, man. You enjoy the game. We'll see you soon, my man.
Yes, sir. Roll Tide to everybody.
Absolutely. Bo Scarborough joined right there on the show, giving us his thoughts here for the Bama matchup. But we go from that to another superstar is about to come in here. She is the sports anchor for THV, Channel 11 News in Little Rock, Arkansas. She also does some freelance work for ESPN+. This is the real deal. Talking the Razorbacks, we got Cierra Clark in the building. Miss Clark, how are you?
Thank you. Wow, talking me up real well here, but thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We got Cierra Clark in right now talking Arkansas. So, Cierra, first off, when you look at just Sam Pittman and this team, how has he been able to change the culture? Because we always knew Arkansas as a scrappy bunch, as a hard-nosed, competitive bunch, but now, this program winning games, this program's pulling upset wins, this program has a belief that, we can hang and run with anybody in this conference. So, in your opinion, how has Sam Pittman really changed this program quickly?
Well, I moved to Arkansas at the right time. I moved here last year, and that was the year. My first game was when Arkansas beat Texas. And as soon as I saw that happen, I'm like, okay, this team is good. And before I accepted the job, I've heard of people talking about, the non-glory years of the Hogs with Chad Morris and all of that. With, the team was just losing games to a group of 5 teams and everything. And then now everything's changed. People in the state of Arkansas have always been Hog fans, but now I can just see a different level, even though I haven't been here that long. And what Coach Pittman really likes to harp on is, for lack of a better term, he likes to say, we're a proud damn state. He knows the fact that Arkansas football is really the professional team in the state of Arkansas, because we don't have any NFL teams. We don't have any professional teams. It's not like Alabama, where there's 2 powerhouses with Auburn and Alabama. It's just the Razorbacks. We're the main, Power 5 school in this state, and everybody in the state is a Razorback fan. Even if you went to Arkansas State or UCA, everybody's pretty much a Razorback fan, and Coach Pittman knows that. Coach Pittman really tries hard to keep the athletes that he recruits that are from Arkansas in the state, and just to get recruits excited to come to Arkansas again and not leave the state of Arkansas. And so he's really just instilled a pride in the athletes. Even the athletes who are from Arkansas know that this is a big deal. This is the University of Arkansas. But even athletes like KJ Jefferson, who are from Mississippi, they know that this program means so much to the state of Arkansas. And Coach Pittman has really instilled that in his athletes, and it's really good to see.
If you're just tuning into the show on a Wednesday, we got Miss Cierra Clark here covering the Arkansas Razorbacks, sports anchor for THV, Channel 11 News in Little Rock, Arkansas. So, Cierra, going now to KJ Jefferson, this guy's a different athlete in terms of quarterback, big, strong, can run, can throw the football as well. Had a strong game against Alabama just last season, despite falling short there. Alabama got the win 42-35. But how does Coach Pittman and Kendall Browse, as the offensive play caller, how are they going to look at attacking Alabama with Jefferson in this matchup at home?
Yeah, it's going to be tough. I mean, KJ Jefferson has had a great year. Last year, or the last game they played, he made a bit of a mistake, fumbled the ball, and then A&M picked it up and returned it for the touchdown. And so that kind of switched the momentum for things. But usually KJ is very calm, it seems. It seems that Briles and Coach Pittman have really coached him to kind of stay calm in the pocket and wait to pass and not, just throw away or throw interceptions. And, of course, he has his running backs that he can rely on as well. And one thing that has really helped him, of course, he really likes to talk about also how his other teammates have helped him, like his offensive line. Coach Pittman, of course, great offensive line coach. He was even offered a gig at Alabama as offensive line coach a few years back, but Coach Pittman stayed at he was on the staff at Arkansas at the time. I believe he was with Bama at that time. So Pittman really is a strong offensive line coach, and he's just a strong offensive mind. And so I think that's really helped KJ to develop, as last year was his first year as the full starter. So KJ Jefferson's someone you got to watch out for. He's not afraid to run the ball. He's not afraid to run the ball at all. He's not scared of getting hit. It's kind of makes you nervous because we only have Malik Hornsby as the backup, and he hasn't had a ton of experience. So it's a little bit nerve-wracking, but he does whatever he takes on for the team.
Absolutely. So as we look at now Cierra too, the Razorback defense, this is an experienced group when you look at Bumper Pool, when you look at Drew Sanders, who is, transferred to Arkansas from the University of Alabama, but Drew is having a huge season for the Hogs. Defensively, is there an area where you feel like Arkansas matches up perfectly with Alabama?
Yeah, I think that it's going to be a real interesting matchup to see. Of course, Drew Sanders did go to Alabama, so it's going to be fun to see him play against his old team. Of course, Coach Saban has said that there's no really hard feelings there at all. I believe Sanders got hurt while he was at Alabama, and it was just better for him to kind of transfer to Arkansas. But he's done great at Arkansas. He leads the SEC right now in sacks with 6. But it's going to be fun to see that defensive line go against the Alabama offense, as they're very strong. It's going to be interesting to see how fast they can get to Bryce Young if they decide to go that route. That's the strongest point. The secondary is really where the Hogs are depleted, just because, they had Jalen Catalon, preseason All-American, get hurt, out for the season. Really tough for him as he was out last year as well for a shoulder injury as well. So it's going to be fun to see really the defensive line because they're not afraid to go after it.
She is Cierra Clark, the sports anchor for THV, Channel 11 News in Little Rock, Arkansas, covering the Hogs. Also does work for ESPN+. Cierra, we appreciate you coming on. You enjoyed the game, and thanks for your time.
Thank you for having me. It should be a fun game.
Absolutely. Cierra Clark, they're covering the Arkansas Razorbacks, THV, Channel 11 there in Little Rock, Arkansas. We're going to take a break here, folks. Don't touch that dial. When we get back, we hop to the phone lines. We grab your calls, your thoughts, your conversations. Line us up. We'll be back after this.
Don't touch that dial. Call in right now as we're taking your calls up next on In My Own Words with Stephen M. Smith. Brought to you by We Own the Fourth Quarter. Visit WeOwnTheFourthQuarter.com now to get your 4-finger bling necklace.
What's up, Bama Nation? This is Rudy Griffin, former Alabama defensive lineman, and you're listening to my guy, Stephen M. Smith, In My Own Words, brought to you by Touchdown Alabama Magazine. Roll Tide, roll!
Every sports fan deserves the proper representation. Whitwill Sports introduces to you the Title Towel. Wave that Title Towel in the air like you just don't care. In support of Nick Saban and the Alabama Crimson Tide. Only $9.99 and it lasts a lifetime. Head on over to WhitwillSports.com and get your Title Towel today. Touchdown Alabama Magazine is Alabama football's premier publication. A subscription to Touchdown Alabama Magazine is the perfect gift for any Alabama fan. For exclusive news and information, recruiting updates, a free annual print magazine, and more, go to touchdownalabama.com and click join. Only $7.95 per month, or pay $74.95 for a full year subscription. That's a yearly saving of $20. Go to touchdownalabama.com today and roll Tide.
All right, people, we're back into the action from the break on a Wednesday hump day, talking Bama. In my own words, George Trilling, Stephen Smith of Touchdown Alabama Magazine. You know what it is, people. Let's get this thing up to 100 likes, baby. Let's get those thumbs up. Smash that like button. Let's get this show up here to 100 likes. That daily Super Chat goes $75. Appreciate the love there from you as our outstanding listeners. But right now, we go to the phone lines to grab your calls. The call segment brought to you by the Blue Wrench Gang, 205-448-1358. Number to call in, 205-448-1358. We grab this call here. You're live on the show. What's happening? How we feeling? State your name and where you calling from.
Stephen, Bill from New York. How you doing, brother?
My man, Bill, doing great. How are you?
We're good, and very, very confident. I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to give you my thoughts about, how we're going to win, and I mean win big, but other than the offensive line, because if the offensive line comes through, it ain't even going to be a game, please. I'm going to be yawning, you know what I mean, because we're going to just destroy them. But the few points I want to make, I'd love to hear after I talk, your opinions, because I don't call here to make all-knowing proclamations. I call to hear from you, okay? So first point is Drew Sanders. Listen. Look, good player and everything. I really was rooting for him, when our guys went down last year. But I thought he was always like a half step to a full step slow. He didn't really get to the quarterbacks as much as I would have wanted him to. And that's why Dallas Turner took his place. You know what I mean? So, let's not get crazy. Wow, Drew Sanders is going to beat us. He's not going to. And the Arkansas quarterback, look, I'm not going to knock the guy, but I'm saying he's a bit lumbering. He's not like Josh Allen on the Buffalo Bills. Yeah, and you could get away with being that big, strong guy in college, a little more than you can in the pros. But if he gets pressure up the middle from my man Otis, he's not going to do anything, and in terms of running, and he's going to get picked off. That's what I think. You know what I mean? Like I could just see this guy getting destroyed. We're gonna. Bottom line is, and I told you, like Arkansas is probably my second favorite team. I lived down there for 8 weeks, believe it or not. But what I'm saying is, we're gonna crush them. We're gonna step on. We're gonna step all over them. We're gonna walk on those fools. And like I. And by the way, if Bo is still on the air, I'd like to thank him. A great guest tonight, and thank him for what he did for Alabama, because that's one tough guy. That's one badass. That's a tough guy. And I also, last thing I want to say is that TDA is getting better and better. My man Justin. You know what I mean. Riley Smith. These guys are great, and so are you. You're a superstar, and just keep up the good work, brother. And thank you for taking my calls. Love being a part of this.
Absolutely. Gotta love Bill calling in there. And for me, I think the offensive line is improving. It is making strides. I think Tyler Booker in there as a starter makes a big difference. I think this game we'll start to see more of the identity of the front line. I think in this game also we will see more of the identity of this defense even more. I mean, this Alabama defense, don't look now, but this defense only giving up 2 touchdowns this season, and both of them on the ground. This defense is in the top 5 in quite a few categories in college football right now. Don't look now, but this defense, and I know people are going to say, but it hasn't played anybody yet. Arkansas is going to be the first test since Texas. I get it. I agree with that. I get it. But don't look now. But Alabama's actually ahead of Georgia in quite a bit of these defensive categories. But we take this call here. You're live on the show. What's happening? How we feeling? State your name and where you calling from.
Hey, Stephen. I'm Mr. Rob from Mobile.
Robert, what's going on, man?
Well, Arkansas's, of course, main goal in this game is to keep their crowd in it. And the way they do that, it's in stages. They know they're not going to blow Alabama out, or most likely not going to get a significant lead on Alabama at any point in the game. So the goal is to keep, to stay within, at least 2 scores, 10 points or less at halftime, and either be 1 score or less, or leading into the fourth quarter. Just make sure that crowd stay engaged, because they know that's how, you get to Alabama, with your crowd engaged and everybody's loud and rowdy, and Bryce can't hear, and the line can't hear them clap and that kind of thing. So that's the main thing for Arkansas. That's the keys for them. Of course, with Alabama is simply executing. The biggest problem they've had on the road is, simply not executing. You will have, especially in the Texas game, there were drop balls. The defense, we had 15 penalties for over 100 yards. 3 or 4 of those were bogus penalties that probably shouldn't have been called. But there were 10 or 11 legitimate ones that, you did actually push this guy. Yeah, you did grab a face mask. So Alabama, again, has to get out of their own way and eliminate those kinds of errors. Receivers, when Bryce delivers the ball in your hand, you catch it. We saw what you can do last week against Vanderbilt at home. Now take that on the road. Bring your hands with you on the road. And Bryce needs to get a feel for that pocket. When those guys go behind you, okay, you got to get ready to go. Now, as long as everybody's in front of you, fine. You got that extra 2-3 seconds. You got extra couple of seconds. Once they go behind you, you don't have that extra couple of seconds anymore. So you got to go. That's either throw the ball or take off. if they play the game they're capable of playing, they can cover that 17-point spread. If they don't, if they get in their way again, then it'll be another long struggle fest with the crowd in it, and we could be in for another 4 quarters of us pulling our hair out and losing it because they're not playing up to their full potential. But yeah, that's the thing with Arkansas. You're right in the initial. Arkansas is going to have to slow the game down. They're going to have to keep Bryce and company on the field, off the field as long as they can. That's where our defense has to come into play. Again, you can hear the crowd's quiet when you are on the field. Don't jump off sides. Will Anderson, you're the best, probably the best player in college football, but don't jump off sides. And no dumb penalties, no face masks, and guys, please do your best you can not do those pass interference calls. And if we do that, and the defense makes Arkansas go 3 and out for slowing the game down, well, okay, that's less time you have the ball. You got to. So if you slow the game down and you don't score, then that gives Alabama an opportunity to run away with you. Run away on you. And that's what we need the defense to do. Okay, they slow the game down, but the only thing you did was just delay you're inevitable. You're still going 3 and out or 6 and out, whatever, but you're not scoring more than 3 or more than 10 points. That's how the game's going to have to go for us when they do slow the game down. And for us, don't let that play clock go down to 1 second before you snap the ball. That gives the defense a chance. The Arkansas defense a chance to know, okay, now you got to snap the ball. Now we know when to go. Bill O'Brien, get those plays in faster. Get them set. Get everything set faster. Give yourself 10 seconds or more, the 10 seconds or so, and snapping the ball in that time frame. Then the defense don't have that, can't anticipate when you're going to throw. It doesn't happen to us a lot in that Texas game. The play clock was down at 1 second. Well, the Texans know, but you got to snap the ball now. We don't have to guess. So Bill O'Brien, get those plays in quicker and sooner. And once again, test that downfield. Arkansas is begging to be passed on down the field. I don't want Bryce to be the only quarterback Arkansas has played this season so far that doesn't bust them for over 275 yards. Everybody else has. The best quarterback in college football needs to be hitting them for 275, 300 yards too. But that's how I see the game playing out, man. Catch you later.
Absolutely. Robert from Mobile making his points right there on the show. 205-448-1358. The number to call in to let your voice be heard. 205-448-1358. As you're getting your thoughts in here, we're going to go to a call topic here. This one's on Mac Jones, and he suffered an ankle injury in the loss there to the Baltimore Ravens on Sunday. Hobbled off the field, hobbled into the locker room, looked in obvious pain, great deal of pain, but according to Patriot beat writers and Bill Belichick himself, he's progressed well since the injury in the last 24 to 48 hours. So in the last 1 to 2 days, he's progressed well. He's still listed as day-to-day. However, Belichick is not ruling Mac Jones out for Sunday's matchup between the Patriots and the Green Bay Packers. The Patriots would have to go to Lambeau Field, to the Lambeau Leap. They have to go to Lambeau Field to face Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay. So, Mac Jones not ruled out for this game. Still listed, though, as day-to-day as he's progressing here from an ankle injury. Also, another call topic, CBS has made every Bama fan happy. Why? Because next week, Bama Texas A&M will be a night game at Bryant-Denny, 7 p.m. Central Time kickoff, prime time under the LED lighting feature, Bama A&M. The matchup everybody's been waiting on since last season. A&M got a 3-point win over Alabama, 41-38 at Kyle Field. And then the whole recruiting dust-up thing that happened back in the spring between Nick Saban and Jimbo Fisher and all that rigmarole that took place. So now, the night game, Bama, A&M, Saturday, October 8th, Bryant-Denny, 7 p.m. Central Time kickoff. That is going to be a game where nobody's trying to sell a ticket unless they coming off some serious coin to get that ticket right there. But we take our final break here, folks. We'll touch that down because when we get back, we get into is this kind of the game where Alabama establishes that identity with those hateful competitors on both sides of the ball? And could Bama be getting a speedy receiver back for this game? We'll tidy up loose ends with that after this.
If you're an avid Alabama Crimson Tide fan and you love to flaunt it, then show your Alabama Crimson Tide support by grabbing the All Bama sneakers. They feature bold Crimson Tide graphics, so no one will be able to question where your allegiance lies. When you add these sweet sneakers to your Alabama Crimson Tide collection, go to stsfootwear.com and use the code TDAlabama for $15 off your purchase. That's code TDAlabama for $15 off your purchase. Go to stsfootwear.com and get your All Bama sneakers today. Touchdown Alabama Magazine is Alabama football's premier publication. A subscription to Touchdown Alabama Magazine is the perfect gift for any Alabama fan. For exclusive news and information, recruiting updates, a free annual print magazine, and more, go to touchdownalabama.com and click join. Only $7.95 per month, or pay $74.95 for a full year subscription. That's a yearly saving of $20. Go to touchdownalabama.com today and roll Tide. Thank you for tuning in. Show your support right now by clicking that like button. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button now and enable all notifications to make sure you don't ever miss any of the best Alabama football news, notes, and information right here on Touchdown Alabama.
And what's going on, everybody? We're rocking and rolling in here from the break on a Wednesday hump day, talking Bama football in my own words. Yours truly, Stephen Smith of Touchdown Alabama Magazine. And just get this thing up, baby. Hit that like button, like the show, hit the like, give us that thumbs up. Make this your show, your network platform, channel, and space to talk Bama. If you really feeling what we putting down to you right now in terms of the information, hit that thumbs up, hit that like button, show us that support right there. Also, don't forget to check out tdawear.com. That is tdawear.com. So for all of your swagger, sauce, drip, clothing, cultural, fashion needs there, check us out. tdawear.com. Link in the description. Get you that gear today. Go ahead and make us your one-stop shop for all of your purchases, for all the clothing. Support your team, support your brand, support the Alabama football, and also continue to have that support for Coach Saban, the University of Alabama, the student athletes, and us here at TDA. Gotta show love to Mechanic with that $20 donation and super chats. Dropping the love in there. Appreciate the support there coming from Mechanic here on the show. Well, look at here, John. Alabama and Arkansas. Is this the game where the Crimson Tide establishes that identity and being those hateful competitors? Will Anderson spoke on Tuesday, and the outside linebacker for the Tide had one message for reporters. One message. That one message was, the audacity for an opposing team to play us. The audacity for the opposing team's fan base to be on the same field and the same venue as us. The audacity of a guy lining up in front of me or across from me. This is Will Anderson saying it's disrespectful. Will is like, I take that personal when I go on the road and I see the opposing team's crowd happy. I take that personal when I go on the road and I see the opposing team, up to play me. Like we want to have their fan base leaving by halftime, or at least before the end of the third quarter. Will Anderson taking this hateful competitive mindset extremely serious. And Coach Saban has talked about it in years past. Bama defenses, Bama teams as a whole, it meant something to those guys to go on the road and just shut the entire thing down. To go on the road and have that opposing team's crowd feel absolutely numb and helpless. Like, that's Bama. Ain't no way we're going to beat them. That's Alabama. There's no way on this earth that we're going to even be close to beating them. And it's that type of mindset that Saban wants this year's bunch to have, and they're starting to find it. Piece by piece, bit by bit, little by little, starting to find it. Now, defensively for Alabama, this is going to be a game where they can send the strongest signal here. The rest of the SEC in college football, we are no joke. This is a Bama team, like I mentioned before. They're in the top 5 in several defensive categories. Scoring defense, Alabama's given up 7.3 points per game. Total defense, they're giving up 201.6 yards per game. Rush defense, they're giving up 62.5 yards per game. I mean, they're up there in every single major category. But aside from Texas, haven't had that next big test. They're going to get it this weekend in Fayetteville. If Alabama's able to go out here defensively and just shut Arkansas down, wear Arkansas out, the Razorbacks can't get nothing going, period, then the rest of the SEC is going to go, oh mama, that team, Bama, them, I don't know about they for real. They for real. They are for real. Like, there is an identity about that team. They are for real. And if Alabama is able to go out there defensively and wear Arkansas out, shut them down, a lot of the fire Pete Golding people are going to be like, oh, well, he is actually doing something. Huh. A lot of the fire Pete Golding people are going to get extremely quiet because they're going to see Pete doing something out there. I mean, he doing something out there. Creating pressure, getting sacks, limiting opposing teams' offenses. Now, of course, we want to see more turnovers. That's true. Saban wants to see more turnovers created, and those will come, absolutely. But right now, what Pete Golding has done throughout 4 games, you've only given up 2 touchdowns. You can rock with that. But this week right here is the week where we're going to get a chance to see, up close and personal, what is this Alabama team for real? Because this starts the gauntlet, right? You go from this game to you're back at home against A&M. Then you're on the road for Tennessee. And they're playing great ball right now. Then you got, after a bye week, then you got LSU. Then you go on the road to Ole Miss to face Lane Kiffin. Then you got Mississippi State. Like, this is the week right here where you face this hard, tough, body-banging blow of a stretch right here. You got to be physically locked in and mentally locked in. This is the week where that leadership got to come full to the circle. Got to come full-fledged in here. So, it'll be fun to watch this Arkansas matchup, especially when the Alabama defense is concerned. Some good news here, though, for the Bama fans. A speed receiver is expected to play this weekend. That being one JoJo Earl. Earl dressed out, participated in drills pregame last week against Vanderbilt. Alabama just chose not to have him out there. This was the same thing with Cameron Latu. Remember, Cameron Latu had the knee injury in fall camp. He was good to go against Utah State. Coach Saban said, hey, let's hold you out. Let's not play you. We'll bring you back Texas. Bring back the Texas game. JoJo Earl suffered a foot fracture on August 10th. The timetable for his return was 6 to 8 weeks, right? From August 10th. We're in the 7th week now. So he's right there on the schedule making that return. He was spotted in practice all week this week, running routes, looking good, looking smooth. Got a chance to talk to 3 people I know in the program, credible, that I've had a chance to sit down with. Earl is expected to play. Now, how many reps does he get? That remains to be seen there. How many situations he's going to be put on the field? That'll be what we watch for. But he is expected to play. So you would get at least one of a 3-speed receivers back when you talk JoJo Earl, Aaron Anderson, and Tyler Harrell. So that's good news right there. At least one of the three will be on the field there against the Razorbacks. But as always, Tide Nation, you want the best in news, notes, information, coverage there on your favorite program, that being the Crimson Tide. You can get this by accessing the Touchdown Alabama Magazine app. Now, you download the app here, the iPhone App Store if you're rocking Team Apple, Google Play Store if you got the Android phone. For your audio needs, check us out, iTunes or Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Spreaker, TuneIn Radio, Overcast.fm, or iHeartRadio. We got you covered. If the good and gracious Lord sees fit, I'll be back on Friday, continuing the conversation that is Bama football. Remember, Tide fans, you can purchase individual copies of Touchdown Alabama magazine. Have those sent to your door. That link found in the description. If you're trying to get the fresh edition, print edition of TDA the magazine, here's what you do. You go to touchdownalabama.com, you click join, become a member or a subscriber today. That link in the description also. If you're trying to get the 4-finger bling necklace, 4-finger bling jewelry, courtesy of our guys at We Own the Fourth Quarter.com. That link in the description as well. Guys, shout out our 2 outstanding guests from the day. Bo Scarborough, former Alabama running back, 2-time national champion and USFL champion for the Birmingham Stallions. He did his thing today coming on. And also Miss Cierra Clark of THV there, Channel 11 News of Little Rock, Arkansas, sports anchor, did an outstanding job breaking down the Hogs. Appreciate both of those two. Guys, shout out the outstanding fans, you guys, of Bama football. All the love, all the calls, all the chats, the donations, the dialogue with you. You guys make this show what it is. And guys, shout out my man John Aubrey, the maestro in the production studio in there, handling the business on the 1s and 2s as our own Eli Walker on assignment tonight. And until next time, folks, husbands, love your wives. Wives, appreciate, value those husbands. Children, you guys continue doing the right thing, fun thing, smart thing, good thing, legitimate thing to not be bored there. You get you those 3 hearty meals a day, those 3 great laughs a day. You protect yourself. You protect the loved ones around you. Until Friday, folks, I'm your man, Stephen M. Smith, and you've been listening to In My Own Words.